posted. Client onboarding. How do you feel about client onboarding? Guys, how is November for you? It is when we are recording. Today is the 3rd of November. I have to say, you know what they say, the veil is fading between these days, right? But I have a house ghost and she got really active lately, so I'm not really appreciating that. Who else has ghosts at home? Who else? Let me see. Okay, good. We are good. Who else has ghosts, guys? Who else? It's crazy. It's crazy. So, client onboarding. I truly believe that so many things can be solved. How do you feel about client onboarding? I do need my phone to see your comments, guys. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know how was your Halloween or whatever you called it, where you are at. I don't really do anything. Usually we go to the cemetery, but you know, everyone does that, so we do it before or after in the memory of our loved ones, right? So let's get started. How do you feel about onboarding? Do you have a process? Is it something different all the time? That was something what I noticed, right? When I offered the different packages and different things and custom tailored stuff, at the end of the day, it was so much harder to run the automations and things like this. So I really, even with the agency we launched, I really want to go into the, generalizing and make sure that we never end up with less projects, right? We never end up with shorter stuff. We never end up with less what we agreed on. So I kind of think that no matter what you offer and no matter what you do, right, a nice automation, it actually helps you to streamline your own process, your own packages, and your own stuff as well. So let's dive in, because I think if you watched one of my lives before, then you know the trouble. You know the trouble when you start creating, creating a schedule for you with the client once you onboarded them, and you sit down, you are like, oh, okay, I have 2 hours here for this client, 1 hour here for that client, and then you log in, you start doing the stuff what you want to do, and then you will end up messaging them, that is missing, that's missing, I can't, they don't receive the email, you check back in 2 days, still nothing, you follow up, and it's been a week, and a 20-minute task actually, takes you a week, and then obviously the client gets frustrated, nothing gets done. And all of those little things, right? Especially if we think about a client who hasn't had a VA before, or had, even worse, right? Or had bad experience before, then it is a problem that they are not getting things done. It's frustrating for you, it's frustrating for them, right? So let's dive in. Let me share my screen. And I truly believe that with onboardings like this, or even if you just take the half of the the stuff what we are talking about today, will actually solve a couple of problems. I'm not sure. I hope you guys can see it. I don't like to put it on full screen because it just doesn't, everything is covered up and stuff like that. I try to make it a little bit, the branding a little bit autumn-y, is that a word? But at the end of the day, I don't like this brown, but hey ho. So I guess we are just rolling with it now. So our goal this month, we talk about client onboarding, right? Every Wednesday we have a masterclass or a live or a paid workshop. So that's if you are an Inner Circle member, then it's included in your membership. If not, then usually I run them for $39, and then we really hone into something and we do things, in kind of a small group where you can pick my brain and you have the recording. Usually I have templates and stuff like that. So this month client onboarding is on. Our goal is to make sure that the process from contract, right, so from the moment you sign the contract to start working with the client and start delivering, right, it's as smooth as possible and looks professional and feels professional, because you know the first impressions, how you start working, it really sets the tone, right? And if it's a pain for the client, then it will be hard to build that trust quickly, right? So what we talk about today is where the most of the business relationships go wrong, because I think even thinking about it, and even when I go through this and you know you have memories coming up, then take a note, make sure that you know you find some kind of solution for that. If this is what I'm telling you, right, the onboarding process is the solution for that, then let's do that. If you have a short or quick or you know quick fix for that, then that's fine too. My goal is for you to make sure that you can deliver your services as the most professional way. And then we will talk about how to manage right from the scratch, right? And also I wanted to talk about, you know, don't think that clients who are a little bit out of hand cannot be brought back into your little organized and nicely professionally done world. Boundaries are really hard to keep and set after you got started, right? So this month, the other topics will be on the 10th of November, the free masterclass, and you will find the replay if you're watching this later in the community or in the membership site, and how to map out your onboarding system according to what you offer, right? So that's what we will be talking about next week. And then on the 17th of November, we will have a paid workshop, copy our onboarding system, and let's personalize it together. So then you will have me on the call with a couple of other ladies, and then we can go through your version. Obviously, every business is different. Only $39, guys. I don't think that's a lot for you know showing up professionally and making sure that you really stand out from the crowd, and that you build that trust from day one with your clients. So let's get started. Do tell me what's your process after the client signed the contract? Do you have some kind of things, or you are just winging it? Are you relying on the client's systems and you obey whatever they you know have, or do you have your own system, and do you have the own process, what actually works and what actually you know you want to be cultivating, I guess, in order for you to have everything, for them to have everything. So what it can solve, an automated client onboarding, it can solve most of the problems you are facing in your business. And any bad client, right? I don't like, there is no such thing as bad client. I think there is only bad client management. Okay, that might be not true, but you can manage loads of things if you know why the client is acting like they are acting, right? Any bad client can be eased if they feel they know what's going on, if they clear and if they have boundaries, right? So where do most of the business relationships go from? Guys, this color is really nags me. I don't love it. So where do most business relationships go wrong? And you know, take notes. Let me know how you feel about that. Have you ever had problems like this? Have you? Is there a quick solution already in your system where you can like, oh yeah, okay, let's just optimize it a little bit. We don't need anything new, but next time this happens, then actually I will do something. Clients get upset, right? And they got unhappy when they don't have clarity. So the lack of clarity is huge. And it starts from day one, right? From sending that proposal, from, you know, clarity of terms, how you guys work together, how your daily operation is. And only by telling them, right, for example, I'm not working on the weekends, the client knows that, and I don't need to remind them later on, unless they start to complain, but no one ever complained, right? If I told them I'm not working on the weekends, I will get back to you on Monday. This is set from the beginning. Most of the entrepreneurs are not working. If they are working, then you need to find a way to make that happen. But from that one sentence, which is not pushy, which is not negative, it's not like, okay, don't even call me on the weekends, you will not find me. It's a statement, what you say, and with that already a boundary is set. If they know how you operate daily, right? If you tell them you are batching time and you work in certain, in certain times or in certain time frames in their project, then they will understand, right? If you tell them that you are checking in the morning and you are checking in the evening, they know if they put something out there, they don't expect from you any answer until the end of the day, right? So if you let them know how you operate, what your terms are, with Beth, we talk a lot about the emergency situations, right? It's like we totally forget all the time to add what's going on, right? To add that, okay, guys, that's fine. We understand there is always something, right? What can come up, but please, 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 be aware that we can do stuff, but that costs extra. Or, once a month, it's totally fine. But after a while, if everything becomes urgent, then that's not good for you. That's not good for them. That's not good for the whole situation, right? When you are beginning, then a clarity in what is included and what is being paid for and what's not, it messes everything up. So make sure that you have somewhere, if in the proposal, if after you send the proposal, because you have a certain package, you hop on a call with the client and you talk about what are the things, what they need, right? Or what are the exact tasks, what is the scope, then make sure that it is available, and in front of everyone all the time. Because the other way, then they will be like, oh yeah, I thought it's included, and then there is a little bit of miscommunication there, and there are the what ifs, right? It's like what if this, what if that. Make sure that everyone is clear on all the possible scenarios, what can happen and how you deal with that, right? The other thing, when things go wrong and the client and the relationship can be harmed, it's like the lack of resources, right? When you don't have access to certain stuff, when there is a back and forth, they are not in the mindset that, or they are not exactly in front of their computer, or they are recording something, they have client meetings, they have live, and then one message after the other, it's like, oh, I don't have access to that, oh, I can't access, oh, please make this and that. It's not happening. And with a good onboarding, you can, not just the system and the automation, but the whole process, with a good onboarding process and with certain rules, that's actually something what you can eliminate as it is, right? Days of delays can happen if you don't have something, and stuff like that, and the whole project and the whole scope is changing, and it can get really, really messy, and the client gets really, really upset. And again, it can be solved by a proper onboarding. Communication and email, it's like I usually say, and it is really hard to keep the client on track, right? When the communication goes through emails, through chat, through Messenger, file sharing, comments and Trello and whatever, right? Then at the end of the day, you can't, it is not possible. If you have 4, 3, 5, whatever, 7 clients, it is humanly impossible to check all the things all the time, right? It's, if you have one-way communication, and if you say that from the beginning, then that's definitely, you know, helps you to keep the client on track, not miss anything. Because the biggest issue is when, oh, you said that, but where? Oh, I said that, but where? Oh, I replied that here because you sent it there, right? So there are certain things you can really easily avoid if you keep your communication streamlined. And if you include that in your onboarding, then that's definitely just like another boundary, right? Let's keep the communication. Yes, there will be things what, you know, need to be emailed. There will be things what needs to go through file sharing and stuff like that. Or if you have back to the emergency situation, right? If you have an emergency solution for contacting, it's like the 2-factor authentication. Yes, I hate that. But that's certainly something where, you know, I see that pop up, I copy paste it and I send it, and I know where to send it. Then I will not send it through Trello card, because I know that the ladies are checking in only, you know, at certain time a day. But at the end of the day, I know that I can send that through Messenger, but we try not to communicate anything else which is crucial and client specific, right, through Messenger, because later on you will not be able to follow up and follow back, right? Back in the days when I used to work for the VA company as a vertical lead, I stood between the client and the VAs, and most of the things are coming from there, right? When we had different type of people, different type of industries, different time zones, with different type of VAs, with different time zones, and you know, it was really hard after, if a project went on for 2-3 months, right? It was really hard to put the pieces together and see who was right and who said what and when, and, you know, she delivered it, but he didn't receive it and stuff like that. It can be really messy. So from there, right, I love keeping the communication and the back and forth for each task on Trello, because then nothing gets lost. You can go back and see actually the thread, and it really helps to maintain that that proper communication and you know, make your client happy. And again, if you start from the beginning, from the onboarding, and on the onboarding call, and in your onboarding sheets and forms and everything, right, you reiterate these type of things, then from day one everyone is clear, everyone is happy, right? The other thing what makes clients unhappy is the lack of updates, right? And we used to have this saying that even bad news is good, is news, right? So that's something what you need to update the client. You know, even no update is an update. I like to let them know, right, that we are still thinking of them, that we are working on them. There is no real update, because I can't present you the draft or the new things, but I'm still here. We are still working on it. We haven't forgot about you, right? And even if you know, it's like I will be, if there is a due date and I tell the client, I will be working on this tomorrow, let me know if in the meantime you need something else. If not, then I get started with what I have. And that assures the client, right? I hear so many stories, right? It's like breaking my heart, where the client is waiting. They understand that you have lives, or you have a life, cats, 9 lives, or you have other clients and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if they sit there, right, it's just like put yourself in their shoes. If they sit there and they just, you know, wait and they don't hear from you, they start to get anxious. Especially if there is something what they will need to pass over or send to a designer, or, you know, if it's not just one thing, or if they are launching, will this be something that I can put somewhere, right? then updates like this, that I will be working on this on tomorrow, make sure that everything is uploaded, or whatever, right? If you have any updates, or if you want me to change anything, then send it over until tomorrow 9 o'clock, and then I will work on that, and tomorrow 9 o'clock you will work on that, right? Then you can't get out of the you really need to sit down and do the job. Otherwise it's a little bit yeah, interesting, but so it puts you also in that state that, okay, I know I have my days planned and this is how I work, right? And with all that, I think setting expectations, it's what's the main thing. And if they know something, right, then they know something, then they are not fearing that you disappear, that they don't fear that something gets lost, that you mistreat things, that you know, something won't be completed. Really setting the expectation, I think it's the main thing. And for that, you really need to take the initiative, and you really need to stand up and not wait for the client, but really tell them how you work. This is how it works. Most clients are fine with that. You might need a little bit of tweaking, but if you give them the option to, you know, to go into their business how kind of they want, then you might have trouble managing your other clients. And yeah, setting expectations also, you know, by the onboarding, you really can go into the nitty-gritty. It needs to be said only once, right? And this will eliminate hours of searching, right, looking for something. And I know there were VAs who are afraid to ask stuff from the client, and that's not good. But if you build the onboarding process in a way that you cover everything, then you won't have that problem anymore. And obviously, when you grow, and when the client's business is growing, and you get more and more tasks on, right? Things are out of scope, but you are not communicating, not finalizing the stuff and actually handing over, right? It happens so often, especially by funnel building and more in the website part, right? Where there is no clear, okay, we done everything, right? Because the client is still looking at these pages and the designer is still working on that. But for me, the main part is actually done. And then, oh, let's add an email, an extra email. Oh, let's do this and let's do that. And there is no clear line. It's like, okay, I gave it over. The project is done, and if you have anything else, then let's put it, you know, in a next proposal, or let me create a new scope for you, or something like that, right? So if the client is actually growing, and if you got more and more tasks, obviously they trust you, they want to work with you, then make sure that that the line is clear between what we agreed on before or what we are doing now, and make sure that you finalize. If there is something, you know, where you need to draw the line, then let's sit down, look through what we created, and acknowledge or the client should acknowledge you that, okay, this is it, we've done that, right? So let's create a clear finish. And then obviously we can talk about what is next, what's going on, how can I help you, how can I one of the ladies from the community, we were talking, and her client got really busy. And she was still working for that, I don't know what hourly rate, what was, you know, agreed on at the beginning, because it was just about basic stuff. But at the end of the day, she became a full-blown social media manager, and almost maybe even a business manager, right? And and she was still working, and for the lower rate. And she's like, yeah, I gave her that rate because it was, you know, a 2-hour task per week, but now we are working 20 hours a month, and you know, that's not exactly what we were looking for. And then we really needed to go through the steps and how to make sure that the client is aware what was the first agreement and what you are doing. And we needed to present, or, you know, I walked her through what to do, and she needed to present what she's actually doing and the gap, right? And this would be this package, and I would be happy from now on to offer you the next package. So there is always a great way, instead of you sitting there and being angry, right? Of the client that, oh, this wasn't in there. Let's sit down, let's open that conversation. If the onboarding is done properly, right, then you have check-in calls, and you have calls where you actually sit down and talk about the projects, the task. You know, after a couple of months, it's needed anyways, right, that you revisit the original stuff. So what could the onboarding solve? Obviously everything, right? What do clients need? They need the clarity, they need the easy to-do list, everything, you know, at one place. They don't need new tasks, right? They need help. They hired the VA to help them, not to, you know, put more and more stuff on them. That's why I think if you explain on the sales call the onboarding process, or you have written down in the proposal, and they know that it will be only, you know, a little bit more at the beginning while you are onboarding, and they are onboarding you and you are onboarding them, right? That will be just for a certain time, then they are like, yeah, okay, let's schedule calls, let's put time aside, now this is the time. But if they don't know that this will be intense at the beginning, and after that, you know, smooth, and they can let it go, they start to panic. They start to panic that, fabulous, now I'm paying someone, my work doubled, because I need to, you know, obviously onboard you and give you the different things what I have. So at the beginning, they have this feeling that you cost more and they work more, which is fine if they know that this will happen, and after that it will be smooth. But most of the clients, and because of the onboarding process is not properly done, most of the clients experience this for 2 months, and they are like, you know what, I'm not doing this, I'm better off alone. So they do need to see they do need to know that it is only, you know, for a couple of weeks, and they need to know that, you know, it will be only for a little bit more work at the beginning. They need to get organized, right? Most of the clients, creative mess, right? It's our creative mess here and on the desktop and everywhere in the Trello boards, right? They need to get organized to be able to hand over stuff. They need to know what to expect, walk them through, always communicate, always warn them, always explain everything, right? If they say, thank you, Agnes, I don't need that much, then we can lower the number of checking ins, we can lower the number of comments, but I give them the opportunity to make sure that, you know, they don't feel neglected, they don't feel that they don't understand, and with that, you know, the trust part is actually built kind of automatically, right? And communication, always check, remind, check back, check in before the due date, right? Send reminders, make sure that you are not waiting for the client to, you know, remember stuff. Make sure that you go ahead and think ahead. Organize things for them, right? So that's where I see that VAs go back into their employee mindset, right? That, okay, I'm waiting for the client to tell me what to do. I ask something and then, you know, they haven't sent it to me. Organize things for them instead of, you know, just ask them to, you know, send it to me. Suggest instead of ask, right? Give two options to choose from instead of waiting for them. Create and ask for the change, right? So create something, write something, and ask for the change instead of waiting for them to sit down and create it from scratch. It is such a huge difference when you know, you get two things to look at, and it's like, oh yeah, I like the first one, maybe combine the second and the third, and then, you know, I give it back. It is so much easier than to sit down and really write things down from scratch, and I need the headspace, I need to think about it, but you most likely are already in the space. Even if you don't write everything down, just write down, you know, the skeleton, what they need to fill out, and you get so much better handling and time frames and answer rates, right? Than before. Make things always available where they can check in, right? So, you know, have a Trello board where they can see the timeline, have PDFs available on your drive or in their drive, and stuff like that, so you can reference back, and it's not like, oh, in January I sent you an email with this and that. No, link, poof, here, there, and you can read it. They know if something is regarding, I don't know, social media, then they can go under social media folder in Google Drive and find everything, right? Always use the same method, even if they don't, right? For communication, for uploading and stuff like that, and try to direct them in a way that that they do the same. Be professional, right? Just put that hat on, even if you don't feel like it, even if you feel like it, imposter syndrome, even if you feel like that they are actually the professionals and you are just here to help. It doesn't matter. They need to see you as a professional. You have a certain method. You can suggest stuff, right? It's like, okay, this is how we do it with other clients. Let me know if that works or not. But at the end of the day, don't wait for answers. Give them the options. Okay. So automated onboarding. This color bothers me. I can't even. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Yes, I know I have problems sometimes. Okay, so the automated onboarding. Basically, my goal is to, from the sales call, right? You can send the proposal, it brings them to the payment, they sign the contract, they fill out a form, right? They fill out a form with all the resources, the links, way of communication with their branding and whatever you need. We will go through in the next week's masterclass what actually you know, how to map out and what you need, so you know what to put into the onboarding. But if you have a form, only, you know, a Google form or something like that, and if you don't do anything else, I got praised by the clients. It's like, oh, I've never seen anyone so professional before. And I'm like, thank you, but that's just a Google form, right? But basically, you know, I know what I need to get started with the funnel, with the website and stuff like that. With the online business management clients, right? I know what I need. I know what I need access to. I know what type of things to create, what I need from them to be created, right? It's like I need access, I need Google folders with all this stuff and things like that, right? LastPass, Trello, add me to here and there and share Canva with me and right? You all know, right? Add us to the Facebook as a permission and this and that, right? And I can put everything in a form where, you know, you even have how-to videos maybe linked. You know, if you never use LastPass, here is a quick video, go through, and then, you know, let's get started. This is the email to share, and you have everything there. Way of communication, right? Straight away tell them. And what I like to do actually after the, you know, there are clients where you know straight away on the sales call that you will get started. I like to schedule the onboarding call straight away after that. So we actually set a date, right? They will get the link and the form, and they can upload everything. And by the date when we meet, everything what wasn't on that list, you know, field and stuff, we will go through together. And also, you know, things like logging in with the client's Google account and stuff like that, right? It's like, yeah, Google remembers then from what browser or location or whatever you logged in, and the client is there and can give you access straight away. Go through everything to make sure that you have access to everything. Talk about the communication, talk about everything, what's missing, help the client, right? Do screen sharing and help the client to set up everything. So when, you know, when we get there, that you start working on the tasks, you eliminate not everything, obviously not everything, but 90% of those stuff, what actually usually just a painful ping pong, and it's like back and forth, and you know what I mean. It's like I love Calendly because I can just send it and people can sign up when they are free, and we don't need to go back and forth. Oh, sorry, no, this December the 5th is not working, and oh yeah, what is with the 3rd? Oh yeah, that would be fine. Okay, 2 o'clock. Oh no, let's make it 3 o'clock. Oh, hold on, that's not good for me. Okay, let's get back, right? You eliminate most of the things, one click, one thing in one call. Yes, I have 2-hour onboarding calls. Yes, I do. Right, especially by funnel building. I'm not sure if everything takes that long. Online business management takes also that long. But after that, I'm ready to roll, right? And the client has this, you know, they need to do it with me. I'm there. They even if they get frustrated with the tech part, I'm like, yeah, okay, click here and click there. They don't need to do it alone. They will not put it aside and stuff like that. Okay, how does that sound? How does that sound? And with existing client, right? We talked about it, that's nice and dandy if you have new client and you build that thing. But what happens with existing clients who are not really following the rules, or, you know, they are just out of hand? You know, there would be definitely an option for you to hop on a call with them and say, like, you are building this new system, and then you go through with them, or you ask them if they are happy to test or happy to see if it's working right, fill out the form. You know how it works. So go through what's missing, right? Because obviously there will be things what's still missing or what you want. Schedule a re-onboarding meeting with them if you feel, you know, that you are out of scope, if too many things are missing, if you are waiting too long for stuff, right? Let's hop on a call, let's go through the list, what's missing, what's not, let's do it together, so to make sure that we have, and then you have the opportunity also reviewing a little bit what you are doing. Prep yourself with all the things you do, with statistics, with everything you might need for negotiation. And if it's just for the system, create an agenda to go through all you want to change and evolve, right? So that's your chance to actually put everything in the right order. Present it as an improvement, right? Give a good reason. She will be served more efficiently, right? If you need to, then really you can present it in a way that it's really beneficial for the client, and obviously it's beneficial for you. You can set new boundaries, right? You can explain it gently. You don't need to, you know, I don't know, go against everything, right? And be angry or upset the client. Always emphasize that this is their win, right? It's good for them. It will be amazing for them in the future. If there is something new, you know, what is out of scope, then let's offer them a trial period. Let's try let's see how it works. Offer an end date, because that's, you know, clear end date is really important, so they know that, okay, this was until now, and then after that, you know, it will be more expensive, you will need more time, you will do more work, yeah, and so on. So you both are actually aware that, okay, this happened until now, and this is where the new era starts, right? And create a protocol for the future. And let's say, yeah, we learned from this, right? Next time, if you are not sure if it's in the scope, you know, feel free to ask, but I will let you know, here is what as it is right now, right? And then we are able to say if it's in the scope or not in the scope. Obviously, it is so much easier if you go with package solutions, right, where you actually deliver the result. But I understand that clients are like, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, do that, and then, oh, how long will it take? Because obviously they want to know how much it will cost, but that's a little bit harder to manage. And I think after a while the client is actually trusting your you know, time frames, and they know how you work and stuff like that, so that shouldn't be a problem. So that's it for today, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about the onboarding process, to make sure that everything is really included at the beginning. On the 10th of November here, I will go through how to map out your onboarding system according to what you offer. So let me know what you are offering, and then we can give you proper examples. And then on the 27th of November, the $39 workshop, where you can copy our onboarding system, and we will personalize it in a 2-hour workshop together. Depends how many of you are in. And if you are Inner Circle client, Inner Circle member, then it is included in your $29 a month. If this is something, you know, you want to join us, then please feel free, and then you get access to these workshops and everything, and to the previous ones as well for free. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments, or later on in the membership site, and then we can go from there. This color is really annoys the hell out of me. I should have done the all color. I can't see it because of this, right? Yes, that's the problem. Here it is, and by the end I change it back. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Have an amazing day. Let me know your thoughts, and what are the things what you think you can implement straight away. Let me stop sharing, and then we can go from there. Thank you very much, guys. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.